Hey Fit Fam, it's Coach Rye from Team Flex. Today we're going to get into the Euro Muscle Pro Wellness. We're going to talk about our top 5 placings, talk about why they landed the way they did, what the difference is between these athletes, what my opinion is on why the judging went the way it did, and what this means for you as a wellness competitor out there trying to do your best no matter your level. Could be your first comp, you're trying to get a pro card, you're already a pro. I give you guys the tools, the tips, the strategies, the things you want to know about the criteria and else to do better on stage. And that's what we do on this channel. So any point in this video, you guys get any bit of value out of here, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Also a thumbs up if you got extra, because you know what? We need to tell YouTube we love bodybuilding. We want more bodybuilding. We want more wellness. And that's what does it. All right, so let's get into it. So really crazy class is what I'll talk about right out the gate. This is a very dominant wellness look over there that's going on at the Euro Muscle. I mean, and I had to say this when I did the bikini for this event. I'm going to say it again for the wellness. Looks can differ depending on the stage that you're on, right? So this is why sometimes people come at me and they'll comment or they'll send me a DM and they'll ask me a question about a show. They'll be like, okay, you say this stuff about criteria, but this event looks way softer than what you're talking about. And this event looks way harder. And I'm looking at both these events and they don't look the same criteria wise. Well, what you have to understand is the judges have to go within the criteria based on the athletes that are competing that day. So those athletes show up on stage, you know, and if they're all going to be leaner, they're all going to be more muscular, then they're all going to be leaner and more muscular that win first, second, third, fourth, fifth, so on and so forth, right? And the same thing will happen if it's a softer look that day. And basically out of the lineup, judges got to pick with who is there based on what that look is that day. How does that best fit criteria, which I know can be confusing. So if that's confusing to you, stick around, subscribe, and you'll learn a lot more with me as we go. But this look, you know, at the Euro Muscle was definitely a bit more muscular and a little bit harder than we see with some of the other events we've reviewed in recent time. But it does not mean it's out of criteria. It does not mean criteria is changing. It simply does mean that there's a difference in the scoring, you know, stage to stage with athletes that are there. All right, now let's get down to business. So this is our top 3. And we're looking at here Lisa, our winner, Carlotta over here, our second place, and then Eureka over here in third. And again, as I always say when I'm doing these names, if I'm botching it, I'm sorry. I'm doing the best I can do here. Hopefully it still all makes sense to you. All right, here we go. So looking at this right out the gate, like I said, very stacked lineup. We see a lot of good shape in the shoulders, a lot of development, honestly kind of pushing shoulder size for what we see a lot in wellness. This is a very dominant upper body look in the wellness division here. However, these athletes have so much muscle, they're still pulling the look off in the lower body to be disproportionately larger there, right? And you'll see this a lot when we get to the back. Sometimes you don't always see it as much in the front, but we'll definitely see it a lot when we get to the back pose, right? Looking here, you can see Lisa, she's got great shoulder shape, really good taper, overall really dominant glute look from the front. Like you can tell that there's just a lot of muscle density there, a lot of development, and really dominant quad, hamstring look. I mean, even though her shoulders still look so developed, she's still got a very clear lower body dominant look, and that's the wellness division. And I would say out of this lineup, you know, better posing than the other 2 here, our second and our third place, a little bit better in the posing. I think that makes a massive difference. Do not sleep on the posing out there. Those of you watching, if you want to compete in wellness, you want to do well, be posing, all right? Always be going at it and getting better and better, and do not think that you've perfected your posing ever. Continue to improve it. And seeing here, you know, looking over at Carlotta, really good shape to the shoulder, a little bit less dominance up here, and, you know, good taper, a little bit more squared off, not as dramatic of a V taper here as we're getting from Lisa, but lower body clearly dominant, glutes from the front, as we say on my channel, and, you know, that quad sweep, it's all there. That's a very wellness look, and, you know, it's a second place look. Keep in mind all the criteria we talk about, even though I'm hitting on different things that I think could be different or maybe have made the athletes place better. These are just my opinions, and also these are top 5 in an IFBB Pro show. They are all great representations of criteria. Okay, and looking over here, Eureka, a little bit more symmetrical look from the front for me. She still does have good shoulder shape, good taper, good waist. Overall glute, everything is there, quads there. But she does look more balanced, in my opinion, at least in this shot, right? Like upper and lower, they look more similar. That is not great for wellness because you want to be disproportionately lower body dominant, and you really want to make that look. And we do see a lot of wellness events, however, you know, where it does look like it is a it is a more, symmetrical look upper and lower, and that does not favor, right? Even if you have a lot more muscle, it does not favor. You'll see that a lot of times. Those athletes kind of tend to place down, and that's happening more and more because, again, judges, even though these athletes may carry more muscle, you don't want to be more symmetrical, all right? So here we go. Looking at the back now, and I think it's pretty clear to see here how Lisa goes ahead and she takes the cake because, even though we talked about a lot of muscle size, a lot of muscle shape, like this is such a dominant wellness look in this lower body. It is very, very dominant, like huge glutes, three-dimensional quads, like the quads sweeping from the back, popping out. You can see the hamstring development. You got the tie-in, and you got that three-dimensionality, that totally developed upper glute. This is the wellness division. So again, might have looked a little bit symmetrical more so from the front. It is so dominant from the back. There is no symmetry involved, and that is why it is the wellness division, and that is why I think Lisa really easily takes this from the back. I mean, it is very much far points away from the other two. Looking at Carlotta here, she's got, good shape. Everything's there, tying in. Glutes seem to be lacking from this position, right? You can see she needs probably more upper glute development, overall glute development, good quad sweep, but it's just not going to stand up. I mean, it's overall a very good wellness physique. It's just not going to stand up to Lisa here, who's clearly got the more dominant look and the more three-dimensionality to the muscles. So wellness competitors, go out there to get that 3D effect to your glutes, okay? Write this down. Put it somewhere. Put it on a whiteboard. Put it in your bathroom mirror every day. 3D glutes. That's what you need if you want to be wellness, okay? And you really want to make sure you have that going into competitions. This is why wellness competitors are very important for you to not go to stage too soon. Build muscle. Continue to build muscle. After you've compete, go into improvement season. Build more muscle, and you'll compete and do better and better on stage, okay? Now looking over here at Eureka, what we can see again, a lot of symmetry, I think, is just really the key for her. Like she looks very symmetrical, up and down, it kind of matches. She does have a lot of good shape, good size, but it does match. And I would say her condition here in the back is a little bit off, a little bit too soft, in my opinion. That makes a difference too. Conditioning, a lot of times in the pro leagues, we're looking at very similar conditioning. But here, it's a little bit different. We can see definitely some difference in conditioning-wise from the first place to the third there. Now, let's get to the real differences, the real looks here. We're moving into our fourth and our fifth. We're keeping Lisa in the middle, our winner, and we're bringing in Lexi over here, and we're bringing in Monica over here for fifth, okay? So that's our fourth and our fifth, and this is our lineup here. Again, I think it becomes a little bit more obvious what judges are looking for when we look at the first compared to the fourth and the fifth, and that's why I do it every single video, because I think, if you're watching, you're like, okay, it's points between these top three. Yes, it can be. When you get to the fourth and the fifth and so on and so forth, you definitely can see big differences. So let's talk about those a little bit. So looking here, obviously we already went over Lisa, don't need to talk too much about here. Let's talk about Lexi. Lexi has a lot of shoulder shape, a lot of size, I think, carrying a lot of muscle, but right out the gate, I'm just getting a very dominant upper body look from her. I'm saying, whoa, okay, upper body. Oh, there's the lower body, right? In wellness, you want to be like, whoa, there's the lower body. Oh, there's the upper body, right? So that's the difference. You want to be on the opposite side of that coin. First thing you want people to notice about you if you're a wellness competitor on stage is that your lower body looks crazy. It looks super developed, not necessarily your shoulders are there. And again, this is what I was mentioning, you'll see a lot more muscle on these athletes in general at this competition today, and that's kind of how it lines up. But I think judges definitely stuck to criteria as best they could, despite a more muscular class saying, okay, well, yes, we see the muscle, a lot of you got the muscle, all you have the muscle, but who's got the most lower body muscle? And that's Lisa here, okay? And looking over here, and this is actually not me cutting this off, by the way. This is how this photo was taken. She's a little bit off to the side, but we can still see the shape and everything here for Monica. It looks like a very good physique overall. A lot of good muscle base, a lot of good quad shape, shoulders, everything there. Nice taper, but again, maybe too symmetrical in my opinion. So that could be the ticker there. And that's another one that we've seen in the top 5 that was a little bit more symmetrical, maybe lacks a little bit size here too for her, and that could be why it's putting her down into that spot. When we get to the back, it's night and day different. You can see this across the board. I mean, the glute development in this lineup, Lisa, compared to our fourth and our fifth, it's just, she's on a whole different level there. She's got, a lot more muscle, a lot more size, a lot more of that three-dimensional effect to the glutes. Still great wellness physiques here in this lineup. Don't get me wrong. Lexi and Monica, great job. However, I think Lisa has more size, and that makes the difference because it does look blatantly a lot more dominant lower body than the other ones who look a little bit more symmetrical and also a little bit less developed. development. I think Monica has the least muscle development probably out of that lineup, and hence placing 5th. So again, it's not to say wellness is just about shape. It's also about size. You want to have that development. You want to have that muscularity. You want to have all that and that shape to showcase it, but you don't want to be underdeveloped. And a lot of times when you're in a call out where you have an athlete that has more muscle than you, they're going to beat you if they can pose better, they got the right condition, and they got more muscle. I mean, it's just the way it is. You don't want to go into stage even with great shape if you have underdeveloped muscles. So take that home with you, athletes out there. You want to bring size. Wellness athletes need to bring size and also make sure they have that asymmetrical look, okay? So really great event, really great class. I want to know what you think. Comment it down below. Do you agree with the placings? Do you think somebody else should have won? Do you think Lisa very clearly is the winner? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're new here, hang out with me some more. I got tons more videos coming. I'm always doing this. I want to know what events you guys want me to cover. I'm trying to do as many as I can. However, there's so many all around the world. So if you have a specific one you want to see on this channel, go ahead and comment that. And if you have extra time, give me that thumbs up, you guys. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Coach Rye is out.